Close the door, John. Just close the door. Oh, there's plenty of air. Well, don't give them food. Don't give them food. Keep the door closed. They won't come in. Hi, y'all. This is Sensei Al Bob, Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Al Bob, your happy griot. And John's telling us a story. And I'm back at the school. I spent an hour or two neatening the house out a little bit. And and that's life. Right? That's life, John.
Yeah. Hi. Hey. Yay.
Tell us a story, John. You were telling us a story about L.A.
LA, home of the body bag.
So, John, I spend a lot of time writing. I go to the library, I write. You're a great writer. You should be writing more.
LA, home of the body bag. Baton low. 1993. Come along with me to sing this song. Makes no sense. Why am I doing this right now? It's worth 15 cents. Sucker, bing dong, ding dong, long wound, sing song, she hand, shoe hand. Sucker, dig, shake my hand, boom. Sucker, dig, shake my hand. That's how they do. I'm telling you.
Hey.
It's true. It's
language. Hey, if there are any children out there, Big Daddy here, not your Sensei Al Bob, I'd never do that, but Big Daddy over there, he's like going off the ledge there.
So, well, I have a 13-year-old. Maybe some of that is starting to be okay. So
language is never bad. Language is never okay. Kind of.
They suck the ding dong with a dog right there. Then they try to shake your hand. Get away from me, Derriere. Please, man, don't do that there. It's not your see. That's what they try to do. They wipe it on it. Stuff like that.
Hey, John.
Please don't let them mix that stuff in when they go to the John.
So what, John? What is the social?
With the Jesus cross.
What's
meat, slapping the meat on your face,
John?
Because you're trying to be
John.
Jesus and you have enough, and that's the way that the Hebrews did. Kids.
Again, I'm. Don't blame me. Your Sensei Al Bob. It's no, I have nothing to do with it.
I haven't done anything like that in months. I've been just working on my house.
Just working on the house. Well,
3 months, every day.
Again,
every day.
I am going to try do a live chat around 7:30 p.m. And I'm going to try and stick to the story that I want to talk to you about, and that is the appreciation of your life. What comes into our lives every day, and how to take the best out of it, instead of looking or expecting or wanting something else that's almost irrelevant. Fame, fortune, fancy car, big house, millions of dollars. Those are like irrelevant. They really don't matter when it comes to why are we here? What are we doing on this planet?
It's for the people in our lives.
Well, I mean, the people in our lives are just people in our lives. What it's really about is ascending.
It's not completely irrelevant. That stuff is important, but nowhere near as important as the people that you have in your life,
Uh,
that you influence in your life.
well, everyone's in our life, John. Not everyone. You should treat everyone you meet with love, hope, and charity. And not just save it for the special, and then the others are the others that you can treat poorly because they're the others. They're not that important. Everybody's important, John.
So maybe that's like a small percentage, but a very important part of why I got a divorce. Because when we were together, we could have easily been misled into becoming that big powerful family where the kids are popular and the parents are really are really powerful and nobody messes with them, and some young guy in his 20s who's skinny comes up and sits near us on a plane, and he's like so freaked out and treated like just a worthless horrible person because he's some kid that like doesn't matter or something, like some random person that's not like a big happy family that's powerful. Like we could have potentially been very cruel and mean to others, but followed the law perfectly, followed societal norms perfectly, not literally hurt anyone, but could have been so powerful. Like, people that follow the rules really well and do things according to the typical way that
the rules are illusions set up by a class society to control.
The head jock and
that all of that stuff is an illusion, John. What counts?
Sometimes it's not the nicest thing ever how they get there.
The thing is that you need to be your better self. All of the other stuff is irrelevant. Being the best, not in like success.
Completely irrelevant because you have to pay your bills.
Yeah, you can pay your bills, but you don't have to, sell your soul to pay your bills.
No. Why would anyone sell their soul?
Oh, well, a lot of people do.
Well, they may start thinking things are more according to survival of the fittest with how difficult it gets out there.
Yeah, but that's irrelevant. There is no such thing as survival of the fittest.
How is there no such thing as survival of the fittest? Then you have a different ideology and understanding of how things are than I have had in the past.
You don't have to. I mean, you don't have to kill anyone to survive. Meaning, if I had
what does killing someone have to be?
Well, survival of the fittest usually ends up killing somebody.
How would that kill someone?
Well, people carry guns around, and they shoot each other because
nature, like an animal in the wild.
Yeah, but John, we're not animals in the wild. We are self-aware. We're self-aware, and we can be our better self. And when we are our better selves, we show by example through good thoughts, good words, good actions, good deeds, good outcomes. Or you can be in fear, in anxiety, thus justifying poor ideas, poor judgments, and poor outcomes,
No. I don't want to do that personally.
No, of course not. So anyway, I just wanted to drop a little note saying, hey, I'm going to do a live chat at 7:30, as I said, and you should go take a look at the video I put on the channel. My friend running for office, her little coming out party. It was quite nice. The music was nice. The people were nice. It was a good show had by all. A lot of good contacts. It was really good. And that wasn't all black people, wasn't all white people, wasn't all any people is everybody. It was quite nice. So go take a look. Let's say, hey there, fire. Yep, co-creation. Yep, yep. Switch from just surviving to thriving. And you thrive through love's co-creation. Ho there, 09.
Thriving.
Yep. Don't survive, thrive. Right?
Yeah.
I like that. Don't survive, thrive. It's a good logo, 09. What'd you do today? Were you out and about? Were you in the sun? Were you gardening? Were you reading a book? Surfing? What were you doing? Oh, surfing the interwebs. Yes, that a boy. A little meditation never does anyone harm. Yep, I do it 4 or 5 times a day myself. I like that. The interwebs. Yep.
You look at stuff you get excited over on the interweb 4 or 5 times a day.
Meditation, John. Meditation. Going into state, not using a device, No. Man, I mean, the only thing I look at on the, he was using a little metaphor when he said interwebs. He's talking about his mind. He was talking about meditation and not looking at porn on the.
See, I'm powerful. I don't do anything wrong. What are you talking about? You're crazy. I make a lot of money and you messed up. You're crazy. I said excitement. That does not have anything to do with sexual arousal. I'm the number one jock on earth. Ha ha ha, yeah. I'm the good guy. What's his name? Tony Robbins. Yeah, that's me. Tony Robbins.
And there's Tony there. Yep.
I'm not even a character anymore. Really stupid. What's his name? It's not me. Look, I'll tell you. I mean, I'm a big guy. Look, you're walking to I'll tell you. I mean, my name's Tony Robbins. Got a big head, big body. I'm really tall. And if you want to make a lot of money, well, it's kind of do this sometimes, Yeah, you got big shoulders. Yeah, I'm a big guy. I'm tall. I'm sorry.
Well, you're seeing it. This is it. It's a metaphor of many things. It's really beautiful. It's a beautiful day. Let's look at that beautiful day. Thing is,
I'm the most powerful man in the world.
Plato always said, if you're always right, you're not going to learn anything. So I'm always trying to learn by making mistakes. I don't try to make mistakes, but when I do, it doesn't, it's like, oh, okay, I won't do that again. Or, oh, look, I should do it this way. And getting stuck on anything is a useless experience. So you can get frustrated, by being within a certain type of energy, but it's up to you whether it's going to affect you negatively or positively. Right? So I try to experience, honestly, everything, and then get a, positive take on it, on what it's about. I mean, no matter how negative or positive or whatever way the situation is, as long as you can learn something, right? That's all you got to do. Anyway, so that's how the energy is here. It's in a constant flux of giving you the opportunity to learn something. So that's how. Yeah, that's a good idea. Clean the lymphatic system. Daisha. What is that? Is that a fermented product? Full moon's coming up, isn't it? Well, I had all my ripped out last month, and so my teeth the gums are healing up, and that's another thing. I'm on Tuesday seeing my oral surgeon, and he's, I can't look in my own mouth, but my other doctor looked in my mouth and said, I look pretty good. I'm not a dentist, but it looks okay. So I'm going to go see my oral surgeon. But what's quite interesting, when you have no teeth, so you can't eat meat because you have no canines or front teeth to tear the meat, right? And even if you cut it into little teeny bits, you still can't chew that fiber. Whereas majority of plant fiber is very interesting. Even broccoli. I was eating some broccoli, and so it's like eating a tree. And if you just hold it in your mouth and swish it around, the enzymes in your mouth break it down. And so the fact that I have no teeth, I kind of have to really masticate my food. And what that means is not so much you chew it, you let the enzymes in your mouth break it down. So I've been eating half the food I normally do. I really don't eat any meats. I have a little bit here and there, but it's usually, like I was at a party, like I said last night, my friend who was on corporate, she had her coming out party at a very nice Italian restaurant. And so I had, some lasagna, and I had some which was very nice. And that had a little meat in it, but it was well cooked and, in the sauce, more or less. And they had these really nice, interesting kind of, I don't even know what to talk, they weren't just bread, but they had stuffed inside them, pureed, really nice sausage and peppers and all kinds of flavorings, very Middle Eastern, and inside the breads, and that was very good. And they had a kind of a pizza, but not really. They were strips, not and they were multiple cheeses and bacon and a lot of pork. These guys are into pork and all the different types and ground up. So I could just kind of swish it around in my mouth. And anyway, so I eat about half the food I normally did, and before I lost the last of my teeth. And even then, I was eating a tenth of what I ate when I was working for the desperate lawyers. So whatever happens to you, you can find a positive side to it. And, I was pureeing everything, throwing it in the blender and turning it in a pure bed. And that's not bad. But you do have to chew this. You got to chew that too. You got to because then it just shoots right through you like a milkshake. And that's not fun. So it's a very interesting thing of learning, so people could really, oh, you have no teeth. That's terrible. Well, hey, I got this beard, so you really can't tell I don't have teeth. But it was going to change how I sounded when I speak, but not really. I slur a few syllables that you need some teeth to clip off. But overall, I sound okay. I look okay, and I can eat, and I eat a lot less. So I'm, and I'm not like on a diet, but I eat a lot less. So, um, but it could be considered really a terrible thing, but it's not. Yeah, people don't understand that their skin is their largest organ in their body, and it has more to do with how you assimilate nutrition and toxins, So people are really like all those poor folks who lived in Lower Manhattan and Tribeca when 9/11 happened. And I worked on the World Trade Center as an apprentice electrician for almost 2 years. And I was intimate with that building. And the World Trade Center, each floor was an acre big. And each floor had no columns. Most steel and concrete buildings have columns, the whole upper floors. But what it was, the center core of the building was like a skyscraper unto itself. It was about 80 feet by 80 feet. And all the elevators and stuff were in it. But the beams holding it up were the size, they were like 90 inches thick. No way is, jet fuel, basically, kerosene, going to burn up, a 90-inch piece of steel that's, 90 inches thick and, 1,200 feet long. And the World Trade Center was manufactured in factories and brought there and stuck together like a Tonka toy. And so the parts they weren't just big, long spans, they were chunks. And so they were designed to take more and more stress. And if a floor were to pancake down, the way the building was loaded, it would strengthen the building. And the other thing carrying the load of the building was the outside frame. It had an outside skeleton that, again, it was all these steel beams manufactured, and they stuck together, they welded them, they riveted them together, they really strong, then put rebar in and poured concrete in there. No airplane could have flown through that wall, period. It was designed, to be a barrier to aircraft because it's, almost, 1,500 feet up into the air, more than that, more than 100 floors. So, anyway, when the building came down, everything was wrapped in asbestos. It was built in the early 70s when, asbestos. And asbestos it's really great. Keeps things from burning. It's safe as long as they wrap it. And they wrap it around the pipes. And then they wrap other stuff around that. And then they seal that. And they wrap stuff around that and seal that and then paint it. And so unless you cut that asbestos around the pipe or the beam or whatever, it's going to be safe. And what happened was that building was not taken down by the aircraft. It was taken down by a space-based energy weapon that basically pulverized everything, turned it into dust. And so the only way that those buildings, they free fell, meaning if they were like pancaking, going go bang, 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 it would have taken like 20 minutes because, when you drive a nail into a board, you don't drive it in one swoop of the hammer. You got to go wang, 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 hit it a number of times, and so basically those buildings were taken down and dust, right? Turned into dust. And all that asbestos went into the air. And when I went back, it's a friend of mine, one of my mentors, when I was getting my MSW, one of my specialties was PTSD and also, negotiation skills and conflict resolution. And so my mentor called me up and said, hey, listen, we're setting up shop in the basement of Trinity Church right across the street from the World Trade Center. And we are being a place where all the guys working in the pit can come over and get, talk to somebody and get relaxed. And so what we did, so I said, sure, I'll show up. I grew up in New York. B, I was the dude of Tribeca. C, I was an apprentice of electricity IBEW on the World Trade Center. Yes, I'll be there. So I show up, and when I do, I take a train. I get up at the train station, get a cab, go downtown, and the asbestos is everywhere. It's like snow. It's like, but really fine snow, like sugar, like sand. And I'm looking at it and going, hey, we got to make a stop. I'll pay for it. Keep the meter running. We stopped at a thing called Job Lot, which was like Lowe's before Lowe's. And I went in there and I bought myself bunny suits. Those are the total suit you wear when you are not, when you're painting something, spray painting, so you don't get it on you, and or get it on your skin or get it in your mouth. So I bought a box of these bunny suits and gloves, and I bought a real super duper respirator. I mean, 2 things, and it came over my head and covered everything. I mean, it wasn't just a mask here; it covered everything. And I put the bunny suit on in Job Lot, and went out to the thing, and I was there. I looked like a spaceman, this white bunny suit with a mask and helmet and respirator and gloves that I taped on and boots that I taped on. And, we went off to the church, and I came in, and they had at Job Lots these really interesting, kind of like individual wipes, but they were chemically treated to absorb, really get anything, dust, chemicals to, stick to this cloth. And if it was toxic, it would turn bright purple. And, it looked for, hydrocarbon toxins. It looked for asbestos. It looked for a lot of different toxin, airborne things. So inside there, I kind of, showed up, and everyone looks at, what the heck are you dressed up as? And I said, hey, haven't you noticed all the asbestos in the air? And they go, what asbestos? And I went and showed them. And there were the buildings downtown that were made in the 30s all had ledges, right? And they had like piles of asbestos that were 4 or 5 feet. And every time the wind would hit it would blow into the air, right? And so it was like snowdrifts. And so I took out these packets. I said, read the box. And they read the box. I said, so open up the sealed thing and wipe it on the desk. And they did. And it turned scary, screaming purple. And I looked at the thing and said, oh my God, it's going to kill us. It's asbestos. And it was on a micron level. And you couldn't even sit in the air. So I gave everyone a bunny suit. I said, okay, I got these masks. They're not as good as this respirator, but you better go down to Job Lot and get yourself a thing. And I said, listen, I'm going to look up in the phone book, and there's companies that will come and heal the environment and put HEPA filters on and clean this whole place up. So we who are here won't die. And the guys who are coming over to talk to us, we can decontaminate them. We can have a hallway that can decontaminate them. We can clean undergarments on them, and we can give them teas that will cleanse them. So we did do that, and the guys came and talked to us, and we tried to educate them. But it was very interesting. When you're in trauma and the people who you want to depend on are telling you, oh, this is all safe. You don't have to worry about anything. That's what the George W. Dick Cheney administration told everyone in Manhattan, And, close to 3,000 people have died of that, right? Of that incompetence. I would think it's more like criminal rather than just incompetence. But either way, it was right. And then, they had to fight tooth and nail to get the federal government to pay for it. And then, the President administration cut it by 70%. the comedian guy had to go on C-SPAN with all these dying guys, right? And what was really sick, that really, made the Senate turn around, was when they had this hearing, instead of, the 80 people on that committee being there, only 3, right? There were all these empty chairs. And they didn't even have their assistants there. There was no one there. Jon Stewart, that's the guy. So Jon Stewart got them to make a 180 and refund it. And but after we were given this great tax break for the corporate entities and the super rich, our deficit under Obama, it was about $60 billion. Just 1 year under Donald Trump, it's going to $1 trillion. And by 2030, I may not be here, but a lot of you are, the United States will not, the only thing they will be on our budget is the debt. It's like when you go off the cliff with your credit card. We ran all of these wars for 18 years on a credit card. Obama had them kind of put it into the defense budget, but 8 years of George H. and Dick Cheney was on a credit card. And so because Billy Boy, whatever you want to say about him, he basically had paid back and paid down our deficit to the point where we didn't have one. And we weren't, we had a lot of money that we could spend on social issues and the environment and education and healthcare because they balanced the books, And that's supposed to be a Republican thing, but since, Mr. Reagan, it's, going 180 both ways, right? So, again, Donald Trump isn't, he is just, what he is good. What the best thing about Donald Trump is that he is showing the colors of the basic, public. We have the best legislators, national, state, local, that money can buy. There isn't a legislator who isn't bought, and that's why I'm supporting got a few people who are really righteous to run for state legislator in Virginia. And I've been talking them up for the last few years. And the people who want to, who are like I call the sock puppets, the usual suspects, who are all going on, oh, we need change, blah, 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 blah. Well, they won't run, because they just like being in their invisible spot. Now, your Sensei Bob here, the two things I don't do is run for office and / do brain surgery. So, but what I do is find the most righteous person I can and get them to run and support them and be there for them. And there are a number of people in Virginia who are holding, elected positions because I kind of, help them get there. And I'm always there to whisper in their ear, to be their good little conscience. And that's what I can do, So we can all do something for all our relations. We can all do something for our community. Okay. Hey there, Ride. I haven't seen you in a while. Let's see. There's something going up and down here. Come on. Fluid, less blockages with him and with that. Yep. Clean the garbage. Yep. I drink. Yeah, drinking your urine, if you can do it, it's not bad. I used to. I had a girlfriend who was a urine drinker, and it was okay. But it's one of those acquired tastes. I don't really judge people one way or the other, if they can or can't. Ba-da-ba-ba. Yep, I'm working on it. That's the only thing I can do is keep up the love vibes. High frequency scalar. Yep. Fruits of the spirit. Yep. Aesthetic sweep and step. Yep. Ooh, ba doo boo boo. Pebble in the pond of love's co-creation. Yep, that's what we're doing. So anyway, I'm gonna jump in that pond again around 7:30. Right now it's about 5:27. I'm gonna make dinner. I'm getting a little hungry. I thought I wasn't going to, but there is a nice cauliflower in the fridge. So, okay, gang. I love you. See you around 7:30. Try to get more people. So, catch you later, guys. You have a good evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. And I'll talk to you in about 2 hours, give or take.